Welcome back, everybody. This is Aretha in New York City, Ground Zero. I hope you can hear me. Today I'll be talking about Jack Whitten. Jack Whitten was born in Bessemer, Alabama in 1939, in what he later referred to as Apartheid America. His father worked in the coal mines and died while Whitten was still young. His mother, Annie Mae Cunningham Whitten, ran a private kindergarten. He was a pre-med student at the Tuskegee Institute. Then he transferred to the Southern University in Baton Rouge. There he became actively involved in the civil rights movement and created signs for demonstrations and marched with the protesters. In the 1960s, he left the South for New York City. For a time, he lived above the Apollo Theater and was influenced by the artists and entertainers that came there. Then he moved and lived and worked in Queens, New York for nearly 5 decades. He would spend summers in Crete, Greece, which is the country of origin of his wife. They also had a daughter together. He died in 2018. Sometimes we can experience blackness as a prison, as if there's a checklist, and if we check all the boxes, we'll be accepted. You've heard it said, this is your black card. Can you play spades? Can you do this? Yeah. This kind of thinking, though, if you take it seriously, can result in stagnation and a lack of creativity, and also exclusion of some people because I can't play spades. Though I try to be open-minded, even I sometimes fall into the trap of needing something to be black in a certain way. For example, on my recent visit to the Museum of Modern Art, I came upon a retrospective of Jack Whitten's work, the person I'm talking about. It was entitled The Messenger. I missed the sign at the front that told me about the artist. And this was the first time I heard the name Jack Whitten. So at first I'm walking around and I did not take any pictures because I thought, this art looks great, but I'm only trying to take pictures about a black identity or about black people. So I didn't take any pictures, but however, I like to read the description at the side of the art. And when I read the descriptions, I realized that many of the artworks were dedicated to legendary black figures about the civil rights movement and about a black identity. And then it dawned on me, Whitten was black, and these pieces were what I should have been taking pictures of. So I reversed and started taking pictures. And I had been guilty of doing what I encouraged others not to do. I had put black artists in a box, and Whitten's art fell outside of the box, so I didn't recognize it. I didn't recognize him as being a black artist. And I think that was a wonderful experience because though I try not to prejudge people, it's just instinctive that the brain does it so quickly, and I am glad I was able to correct myself. So more about Whitten's. Whitten's decades of work is a masterclass on how to maintain one's creativity and uniqueness while caring about black culture and identity. For example, in terms of creativity and uniqueness, Whitten invented his own artistic tools, created a new artistic style every decade of his life. He invented new artistic techniques. And as a science lover, he experimented with new technologies. I think he worked at he got a fellowship of one of the computer companies, Xerox or something like that. And in his final journal, he kept a journal for every day of his life. In his final journal, he wrote, "Art is our compass to the cosmos." Additionally, Whitten stayed black and used his abstract art in service of the black community. He said, "I come from a people whose culture was totally cut off. The prize is to reconstruct the culture." This is so beautiful. His work documented figures out of the civil rights era. In 1998, he also began his Black Monoliths celebrating influential figures throughout history. He also did a piece to Obama, President Obama. But Whitten not only found inspiration and science in the cosmos, in Black lives, he was also influenced by a place I am also influenced by, New York City, the place I refer to as Ground Zero. Whitten said that New York City was his greatest inspiration. He wrote, "On the sidewalk, I see more purity of form than in any New York art gallery. The immediate urban environment of New York City provides the raw materials of my paintings. Every day I'm confronted with the raw, primitive struggle for survival and the sophisticated, advanced technologies of the media. I recognize my image in the clash of extremes. My environment is unnatural, unsensual, tough, and uncompromising. Within this milieu, I have decided to create my art." Again, all art, this is me speaking, and expression of blackness is contextual and geographical. So, apart from having this amazing exercise of having my prejudices checked and having my mind open to the fact that even I sometimes need people to be black in a specific way, my second takeaway is to quote Audre Lorde, "I am my best work. You are your best work. And we are all unique versions of blackness. And this unique version of blackness is influenced by our time period and our location. So be your own version of your beautiful black self." Thanks for listening.